Thank you for joining us today for our first virtual tour. My name is Kendra Lewis, and I am the Executive Director of the Sacramento Housing Alliance on behalf of our Board of Directors and our members. We thank you for taking time out of your morning to join us. This has been this traditionally would be our bus tour, but due to the pandemic, we had to postpone it last year. And this year, we're really happy that we were able to pull a team of very creative people to kind of visualize how we could do it virtually. So thank you for joining us. Just a few housekeeping things. We are live, we are recording. It is on Facebook, just so you are all aware. If you have questions anytime during the tour or while a tour guide is presenting, please put in the chat. We'll try to grab it and ask. The tour guide will introduce the site, and then we will show the site, and then there will be a short Q&A. And like I said, again, it will try to grab as much as we can in the chat. I like to thank our sponsors for making this possible. We can't do hardly any of our work in the community without them. Our sponsors for this virtual tour is the City of Sacramento, Mogavero Architects, Jamboree, Aetna, and HCD. And what this tour, what we're hoping that you all will experience on this tour is really how we highlight affordable housing and how they're the foundation of a healthy and equitable community. For the past, since 2008, Sacramento Alliance has brought community leaders on a bus to these sites. And now we're really able to expand this who may not see all the work that our affordable housing builders and developers and all the partners that make these sites possible. So without further ado, we're going to get started. We'll be ready to go live. I hope everyone is ready on our end from the tech side. Before we start videos and we bring up our first tour guide, we'd like to also just acknowledge that we're on the traditional territory and homelands of the indigenous peoples. And because these sites all through the week are going to be all throughout the region, we want to acknowledge the land that we are on. So our first tour guide is going to be Stephen Dawes. Bring Stephen's video. There's Stephen. Stephen is the Regional Director of Housing for Mercy. He is a board member for the Sacramento Housing Alliance, and he was a very instrumental committee member for this tour to really help us choose the sites. And so the sites that you are going to see for the week, for each day, we will visit 2 sites, and they will be in various stages of construction and development. So I'll let Stephen describe our very first site, which is La Mancha Way Apartments, developed by Mercy Housing.
Thank you, Kendra. Very happy to be here. Hello, everyone. So yeah, we are happy to be featured once again on the bus tour. This way in much greater detail, but I know we all miss being at the sites, hopping on and off the bus, and seeing them up close and personal. We think we will get a lot. Oh, okay. That's different. Now we're a panel. This obviously offers a lot more opportunity to have some more back and forth and in detail. So I'm happy to give a little bit of detail and then run the video, which I think is really well done and really interesting. And then we'll come back for questions and answers. So the La Mancha Way Apartments is a former Woodspring Suites hotel that we acquired in December in partnership with Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency, SHRA, and the financing that we were able to partner on through primarily the Homekey program and some additional funding that the city and SHRA were able to cobble together at the last moment in order to take advantage of the extremely tight timelines of the Homekey program last year. So the hotel, the motel, which is located just north of Mac Road, off of La Mancha Way, goes north off of Mac Road, just as you get off the Highway 99 exit on the west side of 99 in the city of Sacramento. And so it was a 124 room extended stay type of hotel situation, which had kitchenettes in every room, which was one of the most interesting things about it, that we saw as an opportunity to convert it almost immediately to apartments and permanent supportive housing. And so sitting on 2 acres, and as you'll see, just a straight interior corridor, 4-story building. It didn't have a lot of other features, like not even a breakfast room or much of a lobby. And so while the rooms we were able to convert pretty quickly with minimal work to apartments and to meeting ADA code, the ground floor is taking a lot more work to reconfigure and to get to something that is a much better environment in which to have 100 units of permanent supportive housing, which is just about what we have. There are four units on the ground floor that we're still working on. So we have 96 units of permanent supportive housing in operation, which is so we acquired the building in December, brought the first units online in February, and then got to those 96 units basically March, April, and then a little bit into May as well. So we've been very nearly fully occupied ever since May, and have been working on the ground floor remodel ever since. Just a couple other things in addition to SHRA being our primary partner and financial partner. Obviously, the HCD Homekey funding was extremely significant, but it's important to note that Sacramento County, in particular the Behavioral Health Department, stepped up once again, as they have in just about every permanent supportive housing development that's been built in Sacramento the last 13, 14 years, was able to deploy its Mental Health Services Act funding both on the capital side as well as on the services side. And they have assigned one of their leads subcontractors, their full service partner, Telecare, who is a significant partner now on site, providing case management and full wraparound services for 40 of the units. And then the other 60 units, we partnered with Hope Cooperative, formerly TLCS. And so this is our first on-site partnership with Hope Cooperative, something that we've been working towards for a very long time, and are very happy to have a really great start with their team providing case management and other wraparound services to 60 of the units on site. So I'll stop there. That was much longer than you gave me.
Okay.
But hopefully triggered a few more questions for after the video. So
Great.
Take it back.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're ready for our tour. That was our first tour. I hope you felt like you were flying over Sacramento and walking around. Our production team, KJ Productions, has done a really great job in going out to the sites and really the vision of what these projects are. We have a few questions that have come up for Stephen. One question, our first question is, one that came up in the chat is, are you providing 5 bedrooms for bigger families?
We are not here. This is 100 studios.
Okay, studios.
Yeah.
And what size is that? Like about 600 square feet, 500?
Oh no, much smaller. Yeah, average is about 250 square feet.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. So it is definitely the size of would be a hotel room. Pretty much, you didn't expand.
We did not. Yeah, we did not do any combinations like we have elsewhere. Where we've done that, and you'll see that on Thursday's tour at Grove, which was the basically tearing down to the studs of a much older property. Cost 5 to 10 times as much. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's one of the issues that everyone faces, is the cost. That is part of the crisis that we're in, is affordable and funds for developers. Our next question is, how did most of the current residents apply and find housing at La Mancha? Is that something?
Yeah. Here we have a wide variety of referral sources. The most common referral source is through the Sacramento County Behavioral Health, which is working closely these days with coordinated entry. Hope Cooperative also is taking folks from coordinated entry, as well as a variety of other resources. As someone who's Hope Cooperative has a handful of, or many handfuls of different programs which they're able to pull from here.
Okay, great, thank you. Is a question that says, is there a waiting list? Is that something you are aware of, or is that something that Hope would?
Yeah, so permanent supportive housing generally does not work well with waiting lists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any real waiting lists that the permanent supportive housing sites use in the traditional sense of a waiting list. So it is by referral. Now, occasionally where there are project-based vouchers through SHRA and the Housing Authority, they will have site-based lists, but again, those are really not to a waiting list. The referral system is how it works.
Great. Thank you, Stephen. I want to again thank Mercy and Stephen for participating and just being a leader in our region on creating more and more affordable housing to help with our housing crisis and helping those who are unhoused. Do you have any last things you want to add or wrap up? The chat is live, so there's a poll going on. Our trivia question. What is the question? I can't see the questions. Oh, they're doing it now. Sorry, it just popped up right in front of me. So there's a poll and some trivia questions that is a test based on some of the things that Stephen mentioned. So we'll see who passes the test. Thank you again. And there are some more questions that in the chat. And if there's other things that may pop up around for this site, we'll try to capture that as much as we can and keep everyone informed. Thank you, Stephen. We now are preparing for our second site tour, which will be Mirasol Village, Twin Rivers, and the project developed was by SHRA, our Sacramento Redevelopment Agency. We have with us to give us a tour, Tyrone Roderick Williams, who is our Deputy Executive Director of Development in the Promise Zone. Take it away, Tyrone.
Hello, Kendra, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to share the great things that are happening at Mirasol Village. You see, for more than a decade, SHRA has worked on developing a plan to replace Twin Rivers housing community. It's the oldest property in the Housing Authority's portfolio, built in the early 1940s. And the systems and the infrastructure had reached the end of their useful life, and the units no longer met the needs of families that live here. And to add to that, the light rail, which passed right by the community, had no stop where residents could board or ride to downtown or other places that they needed to go. It was a long past time for the agency to do something better for our residents, and we knew going into this was going to be a heavy lift, bigger than anything we've ever done, but our residents deserve it, and the surrounding community needed it too. And to undertake such a massive, historic project, we needed a development partner, and we selected McCormick Barron Salazar as our development partner because of their extensive experience as an owner and a manager of affordable rental housing projects. And I don't know if our members on the tour really know about McCormick Barron Salazar, but they have over 40 years of experience in affordable and has developed over 23,000 homes in 23 states across the country, including 13 communities in California. And the company has extensive experience with financing projects with tax credits, tax-exempt bonds, and other types of public-private financing sources. And so we're excited to be working alongside them on this exciting project, and we're looking forward to all of us getting to the finish line together. So that's the kind of background. But we've worked hard to identify and receive 2 major federal funding awards that gave us the seed money to begin working on our vision to make Twin Rivers a reality. The first was a $300,000 Choice Neighborhood Initiatives Planning Grant from HUD. And we received that in 2012. And that supported the process of creating a blueprint, a resident-driven plan for our new community. That was followed by an extremely competitive $30 million Choice Neighborhood Initiative grant to do the work that we envisioned in the new community. It's one thing to create a plan. It's another thing to have the funding that turns that plan to a reality. And that's what that $30 million Choice Neighborhoods Initiative Implementation Grant did. And both of these are highly competitive. We had to compete with cities all across the country, and we were very glad that HUD saw the value of this project and how critically it was needed to help us provide safe, decent, affordable housing for our residents. But you know, across the country, SHRA is recognized, and Sacramento has a proven, repeated opportunity to look at innovation and expertise to take advantage of new opportunities. And so this is just one of many, but you know, we started almost about 2 years ago, first relocating 218 families to housing of their choice in the middle of the highest rental rates this city has seen in the last 20 to 30 years. But we're happy to report that no one was made homeless as a result of the relocation, that all of the families chose either to move into public housing, where they had the first right of refusal, or to be given a housing choice voucher, where they could find a house of their choosing anywhere in the city, county, the state, or anywhere in the United States. And we provided case managers to help every family with that relocation. And so 2 years ago, we started relocation. And today, with the help of so many partners, stakeholders, and residents, the streets and curbs are installed, and the first 3 blocks of housing are well under construction. And so Mirasol Village is not a housing project. It's a community that's being under construction. And in early 2022, we'll be welcoming first returning public housing residents and new residents to the community. And we look forward to celebrating that exciting milestone. You know, this housing is part of a complete community that will offer much more than just 4 walls and a roof over the head. Mirasol Village will create 427 units of housing in a mix of market rate, workforce, and public housing units. The housing is designed to promote inclusion with units interspersed throughout the community, regardless of affordability. And the amenities, the amenities. Okay, first, a new city park. And secured landscape courtyards, play area, resident community rooms, fitness center, business center, pool, bicycle parking, barbecue area, and electrical vehicle charging station. So we threw it all in there. And to add icing on the cake, the entire project area will be visually enhanced by 5 gigantic murals and artwork produced by local artists, assisted with local residents. So we believe and we know that affordable housing can be the key to opening doors of opportunity. And Mirasol Village will be the impetus for changing lives and make life better for everyone who lives there. It's also important to mention how significant a very significant funding award that we received with McCormick Barron Salazar. In 2018, we were selected to receive a $23 million Transformative Climate Communities grant that was funded by the California Cap and Trade Program through California Climate Investment Initiative. These funds support SHR's additional project called SIMPL, S-I-M-P-L. It stands for the Sacramento Integrated Multimodal Place-Based Living Project.
Yep.
That's a mouthful.
Tyrone.
Oh, that's a mouthful. It incorporates 5 additional projects to create 104 units of affordable housing, a community garden, and an urban forest with over 1,000 new trees planted throughout the entire project area. And we're adding solar installation and training that will provide job training and placement for our youth, a new RT transit station providing access to multiple transportation options. There's nothing like it in Sacramento.
Wow.
And we've got several lead partners. SHRA has been and continues to be all about collaboration. And we're working together to bring these projects to fruition. And our partners include Sacramento RT, Grid Alternatives, the Sacramento Tree Foundation. And these projects will help Mirasol Village as a community that amplifies a healthy and sustainable opportunity for inclusion and integration. It's not only about the public housing development, but it's about the whole river district and the redevelopment. And so the redevelopment in the river district has a significant impact on the downtown. And the two sectors create a synergy that really greatly enhances economic development opportunities in both combined areas. And the Mirasol Village redevelopment project will be complemented by a complete streets project along 12th Street into the downtown area. And it will create a safer corridor for bicycles and cars to share the roads together in a safe and attractive way between the River District and downtown. There's just one last little piece I want to add, that one more accomplishment I got to highlight, and that's because it's been overarching over all of the activities that we've been doing here at SHRA, and that's our designation as the Promise Zone. We earned this competitive designation in 2015, and since then, we've been working to improve the quality of life, not only at Mirasol Village, but throughout underserved communities in the Sacramento area. And to date, we have over 160 partners working together in health, housing, education, job training and job placement, economic development, as well as affordable housing. Well, at SHRA, we continue to change lives. And this project is just one of numerous initiatives and activities that provide a range of housing options for Sacramento residents.
Thank you, Tyrone. Your energy was great. We should, definitely. That's very, very exciting to learn about this project. So we are queued up and ready to go tour the site.
Moving out cost of new light rail? That's a question.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know we're going into our question and answer
Yes.
session,
Yes,
and I've invited Victoria Johnson, who is the Assistant Director of Development here at SHRA and the lead on all things Mirasol Village. I'm going to try to turn my camera so that we're both in the screen. There she is.
Yeah.
So we're going to, while socially distanced, because we're both in the room together, we're going to practice good things. So let's put both our masks on.
Okay.
And here we go.
We'll let you know if we can't hear you.
Okay.
So there's a few.
And we're ready to go.
Okay, so I'll field them to you. One of the questions that looks like it just popped up is, when will it be finished?
The first households will be moving in about by the end of February 2022, so about 6 months away.
Wow. Wow, that's great. And okay. And let's see. We have quite a few questions for you guys. 1 second here. Okay. Is there any projection on how much the rent will be for workforce and market rates?
So the rents are really across a range of rents. The median income targets are as low as 20% all the way up to unrestricted market. So depending on the household and the unit that they're occupying, rents in theory could be as low as the $100 or whatever the family can afford if they have a voucher, a subsidy, or the rent might be as high as $1,800 or $2,000 if they're moving into an unrestricted unit.
Oh, okay, great, great. Let's see. Let's see. Mirasol looks great, is exciting. What is the per unit cost, leaving out the cost of new light rail or other infrastructure related to improving the river district?
So there's a lot of leeway to include or exclude the services reserves or the loan reserves, etc. Roughly, I would say $500,000 is the all-in cost per unit.
Wow.
And Kendra, I want to add to that, because to everybody's ears, unless you're up to your eyebrows in affordable housing, like many of us are, that sounds astronomical. And I've heard many times people say, well, it's cheaper just to buy people a house than to build an affordable housing unit. But the thing I always like to highlight is that this is affordable for 55 years and beyond. And so we're covering a lot of those costs, include maintaining and being able to sustain that unit at an affordable rate for an extended period of time, far beyond what the traditional residential home buyer would have. And so that's not an excuse, but that is a major contributing factor to the cost, which often seem astronomical.
Yeah, it is definitely a very different process when it comes to building affordable housing versus single family homes. And and people assume that it would be cheaper, because why wouldn't we all have a $500,000 house if we could? But it doesn't work out. It doesn't work that way. So thank you for clearing that up. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's a few more questions. Did you have anything else you want to add, Tyrone? Your intro to that was just wonderful.
I just want to highlight a point that really caused a lot of concern, and regarding relocation. When we made a commitment to all of our residents that if they chose to come back and they were in good standing with the agency, which means that you've been paying your portion of the rent, you've been following the rules, that you will have the first right of refusal on units that meet your family size at that time. There were so many people who felt like the agency would just cruelly and heartlessly force people out of public housing, left to their own devices without any support. And we heard that time and time again, and I've even heard that repeated when we talk about other developments. But I want to just set the record straight that every single family had their own personal manager to assist them in, one, finding housing of their choice, 2, assisting and providing resources for them to move. 3, funding for the utility hookups. 4, working with their kids to get them into new schools and make sure they get connected not only to the schools, but the after-school services that were needed. And so this is, although this is the first time it's been done in this city, it's been done all over the country successfully.
Right.
And SHRA is committed to our residents. And when we make a promise, we keep it. And so not only during this construction period, we've been in touch with all of the residents, talking with them, having meetings, such that now as we're beginning to dawning of returning, that we're still having discussions about unit size and what kind of unit, upstairs, downstairs. We've stayed in touch. And so the idea that a public housing authority would demolish public housing, leave their residents to the mercy of the market, has not happened and will not happen in Sacramento. And this will be a testament to our commitment to the residents and to this city to do it right and respectfully.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up, because that is a huge concern when you have to do these kind of projects. I remember years ago when I was growing up in San Francisco and it happened in the Fillmore, and relocation was a huge issue for people who had built community and been in their, in very certain areas for a very, very long time. And so it's critically important to community members that they feel, they feel heard, they feel safe, and they have the resources they need, both when they have to relocate and of course when they're coming back. So that's great. I'm glad that you cleared that up. Any other things you want to add? We have a little bit more time. There's a trivia question or a poll that's coming up, that's up now. So please, if you're on, answer the question. Oh, they're starting to, I see. I didn't realize, sometimes I think these things are done and they're not. And so since we have some time, Tyrone, if you both can stay on, just we're going to bring Steve and Dawes back up because there were a few more questions that came up. We have a pretty lively chat group, which is great. Karif, can you bring Stephen back? Oh, there you go.
I don't think he can do it. I had to do it myself.
Oh, you had to do it. Okay. All right. That's technology. So, it is definitely, technology has helped us in so many ways. And at times we just hope that, nothing goes down. If you only knew what we were going through this morning to get here. So Stephen, there were some more questions that came up in the chat. And since we have some more time, it would be great do you want me to field them or do you have those questions already?
Yeah, if you could field them. I'm not sure I'm seeing all of them.
Well, there's one that came up. This might be more for you, Tyrone, and then we'll find the other one. It says, when is it projected for the bike lane on 12th and the light rail to be in place until the light rail is there? Is there adequate bus service? I don't know if you know all those answers.
The 12th Street work will be completed this year. The construction of the bike lane, the new sidewalks, and the fencing, all those improvements on 12th Street will be done over the next 3 to 4 months. The light rail station itself is likely to be completed in 2024.
Oh, 2024. Okay. Overall.
Yeah, the construction period, of course, is followed by a significant period of testing before the station actually becomes operational. Mm-hmm. And so construction on light rail will start in 2022. The completion and testing will be in 2023, and we hope the station will be operational by mid-2024.
Okay, great. Thank you. So for, let's see, for La Mancha, let me see.
I think I've got where we,
because they move so fast. I'm trying to go back to.
Yeah. So there was the waiting list question, and then the next one is about behavioral health and whether or not everyone will have a behavioral or psychological issue. And the answer is that certainly for the referrals from behavioral health, yes, they have to be clients of behavioral health in order to receive those services. And as far as the other units, generally permanent supportive housing is targeted and built to help people who are dealing with multiple challenges, one of which is often behavioral or mental health diagnosis or undiagnosed. And so, yes, that's exactly who it's targeted to serve.
Great, thank you.
And then next one is, are there other amenities available? So we are working on some plans to add some outdoor amenities at the site at La Mancha that wasn't part of the original plan and the financing that was available, but HCD has made some additional financing available to all round one Homekey projects who may have moved a little too quickly, which would basically be everybody, because the only way to participate in the program was to close by the end of the year. And so they've thankfully made some additional funding available for additional enhancements to all of the round one Homekey properties. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to participate in that and add. Actually, it's given us time to do a survey of the residents there to see what they would like to see. And so a basketball court or other ball court has been identified as something that we think we can do. A fenced in little dog area is definitely something we will do regardless. And then community gardens is something we as well.
Very nice. And thank you for that answering that question. This can maybe go to both of you. A question is, how many of the units are accessible for handicap or persons with disabilities?
So I'll start. So because La Mancha Way is served by an elevator, all of the units are adaptable to accommodate people with physical or mobility constraints, including in a wheelchair. But only 10 of the units, or 10%, are built out with all the features meant to accommodate mobility constraints.
Okay.
And Mirasol Village follows the same standard. So 10% of the units have been constructed to be fully ADA compliant for all the various disabilities. And then about half of our 427 units are both visitable and adaptable. So they do not require stairs, and the unit can be adapted if needed to accommodate a resident with a disability.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Next question is, will Mirasol have a community building?
We don't have a community quote unquote building. We have community space incorporated throughout the entire development, multiple community spaces that can accommodate different types of activities designed for either after school or community meetings or activities. One of the things is that there's going to be a community space in the community garden for learning and teaching as well. So there are numerous opportunities to gather with the community for activities.
Okay, great, thank you. That's really important. We have a few more questions. One is, do you have zero elevation showers?
That would be a fully accessible shower. Yes, the fully accessible units, the ADA compliant units, have roll-in showers.
Okay, great, thank you. And then this one is, I think this one can go for both of you, maybe. I'm not sure, this just kind of came up. Will there be assigned parking spaces provided for these new projects?
So Mirasol Village has secured parking within each of the residential blocks. The property management firm will assign spaces. The total, this is very important, for the broader benefit of our community, the total number of parking spaces is less than the total number of units. We will rely on a number of our residents to take advantage of the transit opportunities and not own a car. There will be assigned parking for a certain number of residents.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, thank you. This will wrap up our Q&A period. I want to thank you both for taking time out of your very busy day and schedule to be here today. I want to thank both of your organizations for participating in this tour. This was an experiment for us. We hope that the tour itself lived up to expectations, and we are very excited to see what tours we're going on for the rest of the week. So I really thank you for working with us and for making this whole week possible, but definitely today. It looks like the polls are in. So for the first question for okay, so Mirasol's up now. I was getting ready to say La Mancha, but oh, okay. Is it going to change again? There we go. There's La Mancha. Okay, so the question that what La Mancha used to be 76% said extended stay. Some people thought it was a Motel 6, and some thought it was none of the above.
That's a lot of wrong answers.
There's a lot of wrong answers. But thank you all for participating in that. And then the other one should be popping up pretty soon. For those attendees that are still on, we are going to be getting ready for tomorrow's tour. Same time, same Zoom link. And if you have any questions or anything you want to send to us, send them ahead of time. It says, oh, okay, here's the poll for Mirasol Village has permanent supportive housing, workforce affordability and market rate homes, workforce housing only, affordable housing. So 92% answered it correctly. And 4% thought it was permanent supportive housing, and 4% thought it was affordable homes only. And no one thought it was workforce housing. So we'll have to keep our branding going so people know what our sites are, which is great. This is good. This gets people familiar, and we hope that our attendees now can see really how these projects are helping with our needs in the community, our housing needs in the community. And like I said, I think for the rest of the week, we're going to have some really great tours. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Again, thank your organizations on our behalf. And we just want to announce again tomorrow, our day 2. We will have Habitat for Humanity and Mutual Housing Trio. It's going to be really exciting. I just saw the video this morning. We hope that you will bring questions and other people to come see these tours. We eventually will put this up. If we don't have it up later today, we will have them all up at the end of the week on YouTube and our websites. And so we want these tours to be out there in perpetuity, so people really see some of this work and understand the importance of supporting affordable housing in our region. Thank you. Thank you to our sponsors.
All right.
Thank you to our on behalf of our SHA Board of Directors and our members. Thank you for taking time out today, and we'll see you tomorrow.